Welcome to Brunswick Cable Access News. I'm Don Keating. Here's what's happening locally. The Brunswick Summer Celebration started in 2013. Since then, it has been an annual event. This year, there will be a wide variety of events take place in part at the celebration. At 6:30 p.m. on June 20th, the opening ceremony will take place. It will be followed by the following scheduled events. At 7 o'clock, Pieces of 8 featuring the Lakeside Brass at the Giant Eagle stage. At 8 o'clock, Sobos at the RPM stage. Also at 8 o'clock, the Student Awards will take place at the ABC Equipment Contest tent, followed by the Watermelon Eating Contest at 9 o'clock, and that will be also at the ABC Equipment Contest tent. And at 9 o'clock as well, Pieces of 8 featuring the Lakeside Brass at the Giant Eagle stage. At 9:30 p.m., there will be a poker chip daily drawing at the information booth. At 10 o'clock, the festival closes for the day. Thursday through Saturday will feature such events as rides opening at 5 p.m. on Thursday the 21st on the Midway, a karaoke contest at 8 p.m. at the ABC Equipment Contest tent, and fireworks taking place at 10:30 p.m. On Friday the 22nd at 7 p.m., hypnosis Mike Bishop will perform at the ABC Equipment Contest tent, and then at 8:50 p.m. at the Ohio Cheer Explosion demo will take place at the Giant Eagle stage, and at 10 p.m. the information there will be a poker chip daily drawing. You may go to the event's website listed below for complete details and schedules for the event. Again, it will run from Wednesday, June 20th through Sunday, June 24th, and is located at the Brunswick High School campus at 3553 Center Road, located in Brunswick, Ohio. Now, if you get any good photographs of those fireworks and you would like to have them featured here on the show, send them to the email address listed below, and we will be happy to feature those in a future television show. New communications software is expected to increase efficiency and effectiveness in the Medina County Sheriff's Department. County commissioners voiced their support for the $328,000 software upgrade in a brief discussion of the proposal on May 15th. The software suite will connect the Sheriff's CAD service for 911 calls and improve record management capacity, as well as the capability to share reports with other agencies. The software package, designed by Zerker Technologies, has CAD plus 911, which is computer-aided dispatching, upgraded several key features, as well as offering e-citations and prosecutors' interfaces for the courts. It will also make access to reports readily available to the county prosecutor's office and other law enforcement agencies who may be investigating similar crimes in neighboring communities. Communications Supervisor Jonelle Meredith said the Zerker package will replace 20-year-old software now in use by the Sheriff's Department. The upgrades bring several new capabilities, including the ability to transfer arrest records filed in the field to the jail to greatly streamline the cumbersome booking process now in place there. It's going to reduce a lot of paperwork, making the Sheriff's Department more efficient, and it's going to have the added benefit of helping detectives in other departments to see reports for crimes in other communities that may be related to cases they're investigating, said County Administrator Scott Miller. The upgraded purchased by the county commissioners also allows for the fire departments dispatched through the Sheriff's Department the ability to interface their records management with CAD plus 911. It will also be utilized by the Medina County Park District and the police agencies in the villages of Seville, Lodi, Spencer, and Westfield Center. The county authorized about $1.5 million in upgrades to the Sheriff's radio communications system in 2015. This new software is the latest in a series of expensive communications upgrades by Sheriff Tom Miller over the past 3 years. Sheriff Miller said the upgrade was necessary because outdated software for the former system was no longer being supported by those vendors. Those upgrades were also intended to allow for next-generation technology like OnStar crash notifications, texting capabilities, video streaming, and satellite phones. One of the primary goals of the radio improvements was to put the county system in compliance with the new Project 25 standards adopted by the state. P25, also known as APCO 25, is a suite of standards for digital radio communications for use by federal, state, and local public safety agencies in North America to enable them to communicate with other agencies and mutual aid response teams in emergencies. The Medina County Drug Abuse Commission and county commissioners have approved the latest allocation of funds, which are awarded each year on the basis of grant applications approved by the MDCAC board. Grant money is derived from the county's unique 0.35 mil anti-drug levy, which generates about $1.5 million a year to fund MCDAC prevention programs and a drug task force made up of undercover police officers. Two new programs to get funding this year are a new residential treatment facility for men in Wadsworth, which received a $25,000 MCDAC grant, and the Recovery Center of Medina County, which received a $12,500 grant. The grant for the Recovery Center is unique because it was the only grant not approved by the MCDAC Board of Directors, which voted 3-3 to accept the application for $25,000. Instead, a $12,500 grant for the Recovery Center was approved as a separate measure by the Medina County Commissioners on the recommendation of MCDAC Director Brian Nowak. Nowak said some board members expressed reservations about awarding the grant because of controversy generated when the Recovery Center opened the new Serenite restaurant in Medina, which serves alcohol and employs people from recovering alcohol and drug abuse in the culinary program. The biggest share of the MCDAC money for the 2018-19 funding year, $755,000, will go to the Medina County Drug Task Force. Nowak said the agency under the direction of Gary Hubbard is well regarded. I get a lot of positive reports about the task force from the Medina County Sheriff's Office and police chiefs around the county, Nowak said. Other agencies were awarded funding based on their grant applications, which were screened by the Drug Commission with the aim of meeting the MCDAC goals of combating drug abuse through the law enforcement, education, and rehabilitation programs. Therefore, grants are awarded to put for prevention specialists in county schools and fund programs that help people overcome their addictions. Those grants included $50,000 to help fund the Medina County Juvenile Court Drug Court, $31,000 for Kathy's House, which provides separate clean living environments for recovering male and female alcoholics and drug addicts, and $27,500 for the LCADA Way Wellness Centers of Medina County. The Medina County Sheriff's Department also gets $110,000 this year to put DARE officers in Cloverleaf, Highland, and Buckeye schools, where they provide a variety of drug prevention and education programs to students. MCDAC also provides funding for certified specialists who provide additional prevention programs in other schools around the county. The amount of those education grants varies depending on partly on the number of students in the school district. In addition, MCDAC awarded grants of $20,000 to both the Brunswick and Spencer Police Departments for Family Assistance Coalition teams for youths that are in crisis. Roof Asset Management USA, RAM USA, a Brunswick engineering firm, has received the 2017 Supplier of Distinction Award for Innovation by Jones Lang LaSalle, JLL, for the second year in a row. The award showcases the industry's vendors that help deliver the highest caliber of service, value, and innovation to JLL's clients. JLL is a global real estate service firm. They assist large corporations and property owners by delivering property management solutions. Over the last 6 years, JLL has engaged RAM USA, a synergy partner, to conduct innovative aerial infrared scans, visual roof surveys, and facade inspections. Once the building's evaluations are complete, RAM USA writes the specifications and performs bid and project management services. Negotiations to reestablish recycling operations at the county's central processing facility are progressing, but may not produce the results some people had hoped for. Calls to have recyclables removed from residential trash as they were when the CPF operated as a mixed waste processing facility from 1993 to 2014 prompted the Medina County Solid Waste District to explore new options for recycling in lieu of the current drop-off program, which encourages people to sort paper, plastic, aluminum, and glass themselves and deposit them in recycling bins near where they live, work, or shop. As a result, county officials are in the midst of negotiations with Rumpke Waste and Recycling Systems to institute a new recycling program at the CPF. Sanitary Engineer Amy Lyon Galvin said she is encouraged with the progress of those negotiations, which should result in a contract she can present to county commissioners for approval sometime this year. However, that service being proposed by Rumpke won't replace the current drop-off bins, which are the foundation of the county's current recycling plan approved by the Environmental Protection Agency, and it probably won't involve the recycling of contents most residential trash hauled to the CPF. Instead, the Rumpke proposal would install state-of-the-art sorting equipment at the CPF, which could remove paper, plastic, and other recyclables from trash hauled, but the process would only be applied to commercial waste collected from apartment buildings and other commercial sites around the county. A recent presentation to the county commissioners unveiled some of the details about the Rumpke proposal and how it relates to the county's overall recycling strategy. According to the presentation, the proposed Rumpke operation would remove about 7,000 tons of paper, plastic, metal, and glass hauled to the CPF. The cost to implement that recycling operation would increase fees to dump trash at the CPF from the current $42 per ton by $10 or $15 a ton. The 7,000 tons of recyclables generated by the Rumpke estimate exceeds the 3,900 tons of recyclables pulled off the sorting belts at the CPF in 2014. The Rumpke operation is also seen as a complement to the drop-off bins, which collected about 6,000 tons of recyclables last year, and growing curbside recycling operations, which county officials estimate could collect another 6,000 tons of recyclables in a few years. Lyon Galvin said the benefits and increased recycling volume offered by the Rumpke's proposal make it a viable and worthwhile option for the county to pursue, despite the fact it will increase trash disposal costs in the county. Lyon Galvin said Rumpke's proposal was the least costly of 4 proposals presented by companies interested in introducing a recyclable operation at the CPF. The other proposals came from Instroga, Kimball Waste and Recycling, and Envision Waste Services. Rumpke offers the lowest cost per ton, but money is not the only thing that drove our decision, Lyon Galvin said. Other factors of the Rumpke proposal viewed favorable by county officials are that it can act as a complement to existing recycling programs, does not compete with the communities interested in curbside recycling programs, and it allows the county to achieve higher recyclable recovery. It employs the latest technologies and will create 15 to 20 new full-time jobs. Lyon Galvin said the Rumpke proposal also has the capability of expanding to include the processing of residential trash someday, although that is not part of the current negotiations. Though seldom crowded with passengers, ridership on buses operated by Medina County Public Transit is on the rise. MCPT Director Mike Salamone reported to county commissioners May 22nd that year-to-date ridership is up about 1,400 passengers from the same period in 2017. MCPT provides riders with 25,021 trips through April 21st. Those trips were divided evenly between the on-demand bus routes MCPT operates and the fixed route buses which loop the cities of Brunswick, Medina, and Wadsworth. April ridership consisted of 6,357 trips, which included 341 clients taking 3,060 trips via the on-demand service in which they call in, advance to schedule a ride, and 3,249 trips on the fixed route buses. The MCPT buses traveling on demand routes transported an average of 1.99 passengers per hour in April. The fixed route buses transported an average of 3.2 passengers per hour. The MCPT cost per trip in April averaged $17.61, and the cost per mile was $2.50. Signs of improved cooperation between officials representing county government and those representing the city of Medina, where most county government functions take place, seems to be bearing fruit for residents. When Medina City Councilman Bill Lamb asked county commissioners May 22nd if a nonprofit group he represents could plant fruit trees on a downtown city lot owned by the county, commissioners said yes with hardly any hesitation. County Commissioner Pat Geisman asked only that Lamb promise his group will continue to mow the grass and maintain the appearance of the lot across the street from the parking garage located behind the Medina County Courthouse. Lamb told commissioners that the group, Medina Village Orchard Project, will plant apple, pear, plum, and cherry trees on the lot for the general benefit of the public. Lamb said his group has 2 other mini orchards planned around the city, which will provide fruit to be donated to the nonprofit group Feeding Medina County, which provides food to people in need. Lamb said the planting of the public urban orchards is an idea popularized in Europe and growing in the United States. County Commissioners issued a commendation to Gerald Murphy for his 27 years of service in the Sanitary Engineers Department. Murphy serves as a lab technician at the Liverpool Waste Treatment Plant and is scheduled to retire May 31st. Commissioner Bill Hudson said of Murphy, "Gerald was a very reliable and punctual employee who worked well with other employees. His experience in the laboratory was a valuable asset and will be greatly missed." County Commissioners voted to accept the bids and award contracts for labor and equipment prices to 3 construction companies that do business with the Medina County Highway Engineer. The 3 companies selected to supply labor and equipment for road projects around the county this year are Vasel Brothers, Inc. in Valley City, HSH Construction and Excavating in Wadsworth, and Melway Paving Company in Holmesville. Commissioners authorized the travel expenses for several county employees to attend a series of out-of-town meetings and training seminars. Among those expenses were $900 for 5 employees of the juvenile court to attend a 2-day conference in Columbus and $600 for 2 employees at the juvenile detention center to receive 2 days of training on chemical aerosols in Richfield. Well, as you may know, here on BAT TV, there are a wide variety of programs that air every day. And one of those programs that has been on the air for quite some time now is a program called The Potpourri Show. And that is hosted by Tina Gook. And with me today is Tina Gook. Thank you very much for joining me, Tina. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I'm glad somebody is. My last guest said the same thing, but we must have paid him handily before we started. At any rate, tell us briefly, what about your show, The Potpourri Show? What does that deal with? How did it become The Potpourri Show, and how did it start?
Okay, it started when I became a member of the board when they first started the TV station, and I became their secretary. And when it was over with, I thought, well, since I've gone through the meetings, I might as well start my own program. And I started with Potpourri because I'm into so many different things. I could do many different subjects. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I did Potpourri Show.
All right. What type of programs have you done in the past?
I have done medical lectures. I have done musicals. I have traveled to South Dakota, and I got rallies and things where people are talking about, I like medical things, and I have done museums. I did the Croatian Museum up in East Lake. I have done medical lectures that they would have for people. I have done a great number of things. I've done interviews with book authors. Just a lot.
It's a lot over, what, 13 years now? Is that correct?
Right. Anything that I think would be of interest to the public, I try and put it onto my program, and I always give the information, so if they want to get more information on it, that they could.
Now, do you have people approach you on the street and say, hey, I'd like to see a show on flowers or whatever?
Actually, I'm working on one. I was coming out of church. I do the St. Ambrose Mass, too, every Sunday. And somebody pulled up and said, would you please tape, believe it's St. Stephen, so I still have to put that on. But it's a big history with the wooden, wood came from the Black Forest of Germany or something. There's a whole lot of history to that church. So I'm going to be doing one on that. I was up at the Maltz Museum. So I'm just everywhere. I went to the Croatian. That's fantastic. I like history, historical subjects and stuff. I've gone to a research facility with the vaccination programs. I've done some on that. I've been to Washington, D.C. I have gotten some rallies there. And Washington, D.C., I get my best, my best, because people are there and you get one after another, and a lot of different people. I've taped judges, and I've taped attorneys, I've taped social workers, I've taped families. And it's so interesting because everybody has an important story to tell. And Washington, D.C. is absolutely fantastic. So I was right there, and you see all those things going on down there. It's hard as heck to park, though, but it's wonderful programming. Really, and one of them, I was there all day. I had like 3 different shows I had to get out of that, and there's always some music because people will get bored if you're just all talking all the time. But just a lot of good information.
Now, you tape the show once a week, is that correct?
My program is on every 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's the same program. Sometimes I'll switch it around once in a while. Like around Easter, usually the week after Easter, I'll put a Divine Mercy. There's films on that, on the Divine Mercy and Sister Faustina, because to me that's an important thing. I like to promote the soul, because a lot of our problems today come from the spiritual side, which most people don't see. And so I kind of combine it. You'll see a lot of spiritual stuff on my potpourri program once in a while.
So with the few seconds that we have remaining, let me ask you this. Of all the shows that you've done in the past 13 years, is there still a topic out there that you have yet to touch on that you would certainly like to do?
Blacksmithing.
Blacksmithing.
Yes, because I have a book on that, and I love cast iron, and cast iron cooking. If you heat the pan, the secret is to heat the pan first, then you put the oil in, you let that get hot, and then you cook. It's like Teflon; it never wears out. And in blacksmithing, they show you how you can heat it, how they put the handles in. I just like to do things that I don't know how to do. I do ceramics, so I might do something on that down the road. I do ceramics, porcelain, plaster.
Okay.
I'm just, that's why my show's potpourri.
Potpourri. There you go. It's a variety.
So different, yes.
Well, hopefully sometime in the near future you'll be able to do that blacksmithing program. And in the meantime, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And keep on keeping on.
Okay.
All
and
right.
If anybody has something of interest, get a hold of me. I'll put you on the air.
All right.
Thank you.
And with that, we will be right back. Well, June has arrived, and it looks like the beginning of the month was pretty hot, but as the long range expected, well, things have cooled off. Are they going to remain cool? Oh, I don't think so. It's Ohio and it's June, remember? Your average highs for our time frame from the 13th to the 19th of June are currently 77 to 78 degrees, and your average lows for that time frame, 57 to 59 degrees, and your average rainfall for the time period is 0.91 inches, a little under 1 inch, basically because of some thunderstorm activity. What's the expected predicted temperature outlook? Well, let's take a look at it. Across the Ohio Valley, there is a modest chance of above normal temperatures occurring. In fact, across much of the country, there's a modest chance of above normal temperatures occurring. And the deep south down here from Texas over into Louisiana, Arkansas, and into the Gulf Coast is the highest possibility. And it also is the highest possibility out here west in California and Nevada. But precipitation, will that be above normal? Well, let's take a look at the map. Much of the country does stand a 33% or higher chance of above normal, as shaded in with your green here. And in the Ohio Valley, you'll be able to see that our chances are on the slim to marginal side. So it doesn't look like it's going to be too awfully bad, but you know, we'll take the precip this time of the year. Things dry out pretty quick. And as far as that's concerned, we're just going to trudge through the month of June and see if we can get away with not having too much excessive heat and humidity. We'll be back in just a second. And now your community bulletin board. On June 23rd, the Brunswick branch of the Medina County District Library is having Friends of the Library book sale. This fundraiser, the first 3 scheduled this summer, offers gently used books, CDs, and DVDs, most priced at $1 or less. The proceeds of the sales allow the Friends to support the library programs and community events. So stop by the Brunswick Library at 3649 Center Road in Brunswick to see what gems you have been looking for while supporting a great program. For more information, contact Monica Heath at the number below, 330-722-6235, or email the email address listed at the bottom of your screen, or you can visit them on the web at the address also listed at the bottom of the screen. Tick Talk, it's never too late for Tick Awareness, which is an informative health and wellness program being offered at the Brunswick Library on June 18th from 7 to 8 p.m. in the Sycamore Rooms. Did you know that ticks can be active 12 months out of the year here in Ohio? Join the OSU Extension to learn about tick awareness and prevention measures, reduce your risks of tick bites and their associated consequences. Attendees will receive a tick ID card. While this informative program, ticks also affect your speech, I bet you didn't know that. While this informative program is free and open to adults and teens, seating is limited and registration is required to either online at the library's website or at the events tab, and call the library at 330-273-4150 for more information. Well, that does it for this week's Brunswick Cable Access News program. I hope it's been informative to you, and I hope you've learned something from it. I appreciate Christina Gook coming in today and being our special guest. If you would like to be a guest on the show, just drop us an email down there at the email address listed at the bottom of the screen. And don't forget, if you get some fireworks photos that you would like to have shown on the air, send them in to us. Until the next time, for the Brunswick Cable Access News, I'm Don Keating.
The preceding program was made possible through the use of equipment and facilities of Brunswick Area Television.